Iran is a closed country. There's a big expat population outside. A lot of people are saying that if there is a change in regime, maybe there will be a hope. But then it entirely depends on the fact the way Iranians behave. Because as the war has escalated and two countries, especially Israel and America, are at war with Israel, there is also expectation that maybe people will come out and create pressure from within the system. But on the other hand, there is also a very conservative lobby within Israel. Joining me now is Iranian actor Elnaaz Norouzi, who has spoken about how many Iranians are reacting to the current conflict, about how they grew up, what made them leave their country, what should be the new reality of Iran, what do they have to say about war. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me ask you, how is the expat population and what is its take on what's happening in Iran right now?
Hi, thank you for having me, and thank you for reporting about what's happening in Iran with somebody who's lived there and who was born there. The expat population is about 5 million, and we're all over America, Canada, Australia. And these are the people who had to leave Iran because it was unbearable to live in Iran. We all have a story. We all left in the worst conditions, right? So we know firsthand how terrible it is to live in Iran and how life outside of Iran is so much better. We have the comparison. So we understand, and we are the people who are amplifying the voices of the people in Iran because they're suppressed. If in Iran everybody speaks up about the government, they will be jailed, they will be killed, they will be tortured. So since they cannot speak for themselves, we are there and we will amplify their voices.
Do you think that can there be a new Iran? Can there be a liberal Iran? Is that possible with the hold that IRGC has on the Iranian society?
It is possible if it's done right. See, if you see the population in Iran, we are about 93 million in Iran and 5 million in the diaspora. Now, out of the 93 million, about 11 or to 18% is the last numbers that we have, are the people who are supporting the regime, which leaves us with roughly 75 million people who do not want this regime. But how do they communicate that? Over the years, over 47 years, people have been trying to do protests. People have been trying to tell the government, we do not want you, but they're always shut down. Their chemical weapons they have, they shoot at protesters, they take them to prison, they torture them. There are forced confessions that after some time when they come out of prison, suddenly they say, hey, I made a mistake and I'm a regime supporter. We all know these things. This keeps happening since 47 years. So right now there is really a glimpse of hope for the Iranians because we finally see the murderers of our people leaving. And that too by force, because whenever we said, hey, these are not the people that we elected, these are not the people that we want ruling over us, nobody would listen. They would just kill the Iranians. So right now, Iranians inside of Iran are very hopeful and very happy.
So what is your opinion on the American-Israeli war with Iran and the way the top leadership of Iran, the clergy, was taken out by Americans on the first day?
See, my opinion is going to be very different. My opinion is going to be the opinion of an Iranian, and I'm going to voice what Iranians inside of Iran, the majority, are thinking. Okay, I'm not talking about the ones who are supporting the regime. They're getting a lot of funds from the regime. That's why they're supporting the regime. So the other 75 million that want the regime out, they have been in the last protest. Probably you guys have not seen it because there's no attention being paid to it. They have been chanting that they want our Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi back. There are videos of it, multiple videos of it. And there are graffitis on the walls in Tehran and all over Iran saying, Trump, please help us. They have been asking for this intervention. We have been calling this a rescue operation because for 47 years they tried everything they could. They have lost family members, they have lost friends, they have lost sisters and brothers and fathers and mothers on the way of freedom for protesting and asking for this regime to leave. But this regime is not leaving. So what are we left other than with a foreign intervention? Because people, protesters, are empty-handed. And the regime comes with chemical weapons, comes with AK-47s. They come with ammunition.
But a
So
lot of
how are
people,
the people
Elnaaz would
supposed
say
to do
that
this on their own?
taking out a head of a state is violation of all the international norms.
Sorry?
Taking out a head of a state, of a sovereign country, is violation of all the norms of international affairs.
Well, have you heard of R2P?
Tell me.
Have you?
Tell me.
Well, you haven't heard of R2P, and that's the problem. You know, it is also very, very responsibility to protect is, and that's endorsed by the United Nations. It's an international norm where you're aiming to prevent these things, where outside sources, other countries come to help a country that needs help. And Iran is very much in need of help right now.
My question is, do you endorse it or do you reject it? I had a simple question. Do you endorse
taking the IRGC out?
Khamenei?
Yes, taking this regime out, I very much endorse that. Yes, this regime has been killing, they have been killing thousands and thousands of Iranians. They bring in outside aid, which is Afghani militia, Iraqi militia. They bring them into Iran to kill Iranian people. During the protests in January 8th and 9th, we have lost more than 50,000 people. There are more than 300,000 people who are injured. 2009, we lost so many people. 2019, we lost so many people. 2022, we lost so many people. Over the years, there has been so much unrest, and this regime has been killing people. They are funding Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis with the money of the Iranians. I see so many people saying, oh, you guys are so stupid. Trump only wants your oil. Which oil? How much of that oil do the Iranian people have right now?
Will you go back to Iran if there's a regime change?
Of course I will go back to Iran. I'm not going to go and live there because India is my home and I'm very happy here and my career is here. But I will go back and see my family. I haven't seen my family in so many years. And that's not just my story. This is the story of so many Iranians abroad.
Can you go back to Iran? Or you don't want to go back to Iran?
At this point, it just makes no sense. If Iranian people who live inside of the country die because they speak out against the government, then what do you think is going to happen to me who's openly been talking against the government?
So you're saying that it's impossible for you to visit Iran even if there was no war?
Yes, I haven't been going to Iran. So many of my friends have not been going to Iran because we have spoken against the government. There are millions of Iranians outside of the country who cannot go back because they have spoken against the government. There is no freedom of speech in Iran. You can't do what we are doing right now on TV with anybody in Iran. Nobody has a voice.
How do Iranians look at the fact that Iran might become another dynastic state? Khamenei's son might succeed him, a theocratic plus a dynastic state?
This is nothing new for us. We have never chosen our leaders, and even now we can't choose them because they choose for us. In which country in today's time do you see that? Probably with the Taliban. I guess everybody is condemning the Taliban, but nobody is condemning what these people are doing to the Iranian people.
Okay.
Nowadays, people vote for the people they want, but in Iran, you can't.
It entirely depends, Elnaaz, the sort of a country that will be inherited after a war, whatever the purpose, the end result of a war is very, very destructive. And I can say that I have seen it in Syria. I mean to say, very few things remain for the civilian population.
Iran is not Syria. This is something that everybody needs to understand. Iranian people are very different. I'm sure you're going to talk about Syria. I'm sure you're going to talk about Iraq. Do you know what happened in Iraq after America left?
I know what happened in Iraq after America left. There was a creation of ISIS, Elnaaz, and de-Baathification created, unleashed fundamentalist forces. So yeah, I know that.
Who is funding ISIS?
No, I know that. It was an American mistake. It was
No,
de-Baathification.
no.
You know, we
It
are
was
not
the
here to,
Islamic
you know,
Republic of Iran who came into
I think you
Iraq
need to get your
into
facts.
power.
No, no, I'm sorry, but you need to get your facts right, Elnaaz.
My
De-Baathification
facts are very correct.
De-Baathification was a process conducted by Americans despite advice given to them not to do it. They broke the state, and from the prisons of Abu Ghraib was ISIS that was born. But anyhow, but you are the guest on my show. It's not. It's a time for conversation, not a fighting sting
but
match. So I
you have
thank you for
no,
joining
you
me.
have to
I thank you for
hear
joining me, and I
what the
hope you have
truth
the Iran,
is.
and I hope you have an Iran of your choice. Thank you, madam.